So without causing any further delay, I'd like Mike to take it further from here. Over to you, Mike.
Hey, thank you so much for the introduction. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So I'll start by sharing my screen. Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining me today. My name is Michael Liu, and I am one of the founding partners of Falcn Lab. Personally, I have over 7 years of experience in software engineering, engineering management, and building several products for industries, such as healthcare, legal, startups, and more. At Falcn Lab, we are a global product development company which provides B2B and B2C technology services to clients across a broad spectrum of industries and needs. In our B2C division of services, we transform startup ideas or services into products where starting from 0 to 1. And for B2B, we help businesses who don't have a technical team or want us to become an extension of their current team. For these clients, we have become their technology partner, if you will. In a world that has accelerated that the needs of businesses of all kinds to become tech savvy, it has become evident that not every company is well equipped for that kind of transition, and that's where we come in. But first, let me ask you all a question. As you all know, most of us have been affected in some way by the ongoing pandemic. Raise your hand if you thought about building a product, but weren't sure about how to build a product or which industry to focus on with the uncertainty of the economy, a current economy. Well, let me just say, you're not the only one. Countless colleagues and friends have reached out to me with the same types of questions. What should I build? What company should I start? Which industry should I get into? How big is the market for this industry? These can be daunting questions to answer alone if you're just getting started or have hit a roadblock and are unsure of what your next move should be. The silver lining, you don't have to go through it alone. Today, I'll be sharing a few industries and apps that are currently thriving and growing rapidly, not despite, but because of the current climate we found ourselves in. Beyond today, of course, you can trust that Falcn Lab will be able to guide you through these industries and many others to support your goals. 4 of the industries that I found growing rapidly this year in revenue, which will likely continue to grow, not only as our current situation lingers, but on the longer term as we adjust to a hybrid between the new normal and the old. And they are education, healthcare, third-party logistics and delivery services, and food delivery apps. Here's an overview of the industries and the market size for each. As you can see, the market extraordinarily in demand for third-party logistics and delivery, which includes inventory management, door-to-door delivery services, packaging of products, and transporting goods and resources. It's not surprising seeing as essential resources are heavily relied on this industry, just like we all have relied on Amazon this year and prior. Then comes online education, food delivery, and digital health. The biggest increase in the market was digital health this year, rising by 19.61%. The first industry I would like to discuss is the education space and the boundless opportunity that exists within the future of online teaching. As everyone knows, education and continued education at that is vital to a healthy society in so many ways. It's an industry that is certainly not going anywhere. Anywhere but up, that is. The market is estimated to be worth over $325 billion in 2025, with the demand of virtual learning having increased by 95% this year alone. Zoom has gone from 10 million daily users to over 200 million daily users, and it has become the new norm for teaching. It's not much more, just more accessible. It's even more affordable. IBM has reported saving over $200 million by switching to e-learning. While e-learning definitely had a steady place in the market prior to 2020's complexities, COVID-19 social distancing protocols have skyrocketed into one of the most profitable and growing industries, and it doesn't seem like that is going to change. With schools worldwide shutting down, computers, mobile devices, and other forms of technology have been employed and become essential functions of recreating the classroom experience, when all you need is an internet connection and a webcam. It isn't surprising that teachers have gone virtual, using Zoom and other web conferencing tools to connect with and educate their students. Beyond the connectivity, students and teachers are now saving money on traveling time, equipment, and other expenses by teaching directly from home. Now teachers have the flexibility to record from lectures from their home and upload them easily using technologies. These online learning apps have been promoted and will continue to grow because of high demand, and it's not just online apps. Mobile learning has resulted in a 72 increase in student engagement because it's so easy for them to click right through on their smartphones. We found that mobile e-learning apps such as Code Academy for programming and also Duolingo to learn different languages actually have a speed of 45% faster than those who use a computer. At the rate which e-learning is evolving, there are incredible opportunities to get in the game and make a successful impact. There are several WebRTC technologies that can be customized to build your next education platform. Falcn Lab can surely help with those technologies. With the e-learning market on the rise, the door is wide open to get into the game. Now, as I'm sure all of you can guess, the topic on most people's minds this year has been healthcare. So the next industry I would like to discuss is healthcare and how modern technologies have adapted to make medicine more accessible, reduce the cost of care, and create a better and more accurate treatment plans. Telemedicine is far the most stable business to be in today, with an estimate of over $24 billion in the market and continuing to rise. Due to COVID's alarming impact on the ability to safely enter a hospital, healthcare platforms have been on the rise prior to this year and have grown dramatically with the presence of the current pandemic. From physical health to mental health, online platforms and mobile apps have made healthcare accessible in times like these, and even in times where the patient would simply not have the bandwidth to physically make the trek to the hospital or office. With telemedicine usership growing in popularity the way it has, the demand has soared, and governmental programs are now even offering these telehealth grants to help businesses build healthcare telemedicine mobile apps. In the same vein, some people are genuinely afraid to enter physical hospitals for the fear of added contagion, and with that, we've seen a rise in dependency on virtual visits. On-demand doctor apps are providing a significant service to patients that are unable, for whatever reason, to visit hospitals. Doctors can now diagnose and treat patients experiencing less severe illnesses as well as less severe COVID cases through video consultation and deal with online patients. Along with the virtual consultations, exists a realm of virtual prescriptions, creating a seamless virtual medical experience. Pharmaceutical delivery apps such as Capsule now allows prescribed medications to be safely delivered to your door without any social interaction. This reduces wait times, transport issues, and individual mobility concerns. Telemedicine, however, is not solely restricted to online or mobile platforms. The use of wearable technology can now connect with patients and track their activity with their heart rate to provide real data in real time. Research from Johns Hopkins University has shown that devices are significantly more accurate in measuring people's physical activities than people reporting them on their own accord, as many will either overestimate or underestimate their movements for various reasons. These devices help doctors develop better patient treatment plans by reviewing the patient's actual body data, such as blood oxygen levels, which is the most important indicator in determining the severity for COVID patients. It is predicted that sales for these wearable devices will surpass $60 billion in 2025. Here's an example of a wearable technology that can track your health. So one tricky factor in this industry that any product you must develop in the healthcare space must be HIPAA compliant, as protecting patient data is a serious issue, not only for the sake of legality, but also for the privacy and trust of your patients and users. Some examples for HIPAA compliant are data encryption, user authentication, access permissions, and data backups. There's definitely more to it. And if you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, since this is a really big topic. I know this can seem intimidating and challenging, but certain app development service providers can help you prepare for these challenges. And at Falcn Lab, we have proven ourselves time and time again by thoroughly addressing these concerns and putting in the proper encryptions to make sure everything is within the standards and HIPAA compliant. When considering the healthcare industry for your next big venture, the technicalities of the industry can become a bit daunting, but the reward is definitely worth the investment of your energy. While COVID will eventually pass, the healthcare industry is forever, and now that patients have the opportunity to grow accustomed to using technology to accommodate their healthcare needs, they'll likely never go back. What is third-party logistics? Third-party logistics is where manufacturers outsource activities such as inventory management, warehousing, cross-docking, door-to-door delivery, and packaging, just like Amazon. These businesses have become essential and played a major role in service and employment this year because of social distancing requirements. Logistics and delivery service constitutes 5% of the UK GDP, and which employs more than 1.7 million people today. There is an increasing trend of third-party logistics, and globally, 40% of organizations use third-party logistics. While it's worth $174 billion in Europe, globally it is worth over $750 billion. Most businesses are starting to go mobile, using ERP Odoo apps to track dispatch trips, loads, orders, capturing electronic signatures, GPS tracking, and more. We use Odoo to automate workflows and achieve digital transformation. Now, at risk of triggering some traumatic memories from earlier this year, do you all remember when people enter a pandemic and frantically fought over toilet paper at Costco? This called the need for a more proactive approach to inventory management. When it was stabilized, this prevented customers from panicking, purchases, hoarding, but with the unpredictable nature of this year, companies got smarter and turned to new inventory management technology to avoid being ill-prepared, so this should never happen again. And there's a few apps that you can use, inventory management apps, such as Sortly, Inventory Now, Stock Control, and On Shelf, help organizations maintain optimal inventories and keep up with the high demand of supplies and resources. The highlighted importance of supply and chain management and operation management has indicated there's definitely a strong need in this market. Now, the one thing we can't really live without food, of course. Food delivery apps were popular before 2020, but with restaurants closing down this year, reduced the takeout and delivery only. It has been reduced to takeout and delivery only. It shouldn't come as a surprise that the value of the online delivery apps has increased from $107 billion to $111 billion this year at a growth rate of 3.61%. It is expected to grow up to $154 billion in 2023, according to the statistics on Berkshire Hathaway Company. With all these food delivery apps such as Seamless, Uber Eats, and Grubhub, consumers can easily get food with the tips of their finger. Traditional indoor dining has been replaced with Netflix, with family, and just eating delicious food that's cooked for you at home, directly from those apps. And while this may seem like a purely pandemic timing trend, it's anticipated that this will continue continue as consumers will have grown accustomed to the convenience and investors know it. Even earlier this year, there's a food delivery app called Zomato that was acquired by the Indian operations of Uber Eats for $350 million. After the acquisition, Zomato and Uber Eats own more than 50 to 55% of the market share, with a user base of 80 million active users. The increase of smartphone users, the internet is driving a huge growth in online delivery food services. As you can see, the market is huge for the food industry. Another example I like to bring up is DoorDash. They are dominating the food delivery market this year. So what gave them the upper hand in the market this year compared to Postmates, Uber Eats, and Grubhub? They automated calls to operators to check what hours and days they were open. This was their strategy to outperform their competitors, and they rely on their AI. They've also recently added the over-the-counter medication and also toilet paper to deliver directly at your door for non-essential items. They shifted their business strategy based on the current economy and the needs of their consumers. There's a lot that goes into this though. In order to have a successful food delivery app, you will need a client application, an admin panel, and an app for the carrier. The client app is used for the consumer to order food, track their orders, and message customer service directly. The admin panel is used for administrators to set up prices, update the menu, and edit information. The carrier app is to check available orders, pick up and drop off locations. There are also route optimization technologies that can help you determine how the carrier should travel to deliver orders on time. So what's route optimization? Route optimization is the process of determining the most cost-effective route from one location to the other. There are several APIs out there, such as Route for Me, Route Excel, that can help businesses. And Falcn Lab has integrated these APIs with several delivery companies. There's a huge market and demand for the food industry, and technology can help you scale your restaurants and put you ahead of your competition. Some of the largest companies today have launched during times of recession, and your venture could be no different. With the right tools and the right partners, the opportunities are limitless. At Falcn Lab, we have the expertise and experiences to be that partner, to build mobile apps and web applications in industries that are thriving, and to provide you the proper support, and you can trust that to help with your next big venture and your next big thing. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to contact me at info@falcnlab.com. Okay, and I'm open to any questions. Does anyone have questions?